everyone, and welcome back to Fan Behavior. I'm Zoe. I'm here with Hannah.
Hi, guys.
I'm just laughing. Sorry. I finally gave Hannah the correct size of her ring. In case you missed it last week, I gave Hannah a ring with a 3 on it because, of course, Max Verstappen, and then I was going to get one as well, and I have one for Daniel. And you know what's funny? What I was going to say was that Daniel, I remember that he has the tattoo on his right pinky finger of the 3.
How nice.
And now we have a 3 on our right pinky fingers.
We're matching him and we didn't even mean to.
No, we didn't even mean to.
Wow.
So
some will say that's creepy, but it was an accident.
No, but it was an accident.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, of course, that has something to do with him, but it more has to do with us.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
not really about him. Kind of is, but
totally agree.
Anyway, Chinese GP recap episode. Lots to get into. Obviously, it's a sprint week, which means even more stuff to debrief and talk about. And a very monumental, very historic race.
Yes, it was.
This was a very exciting race for Kimi Antonelli, obviously, and we'll get into all of that. Very thrilled for him. You're obviously rocking the hat.
Had to.
Which is great. I didn't have any Mercedes gear with me, so I'm wearing my Cadillac Tommy Hilfiger.
It's cute.
Quarter zip or whatever you want to.
Yeah, quarter zip. That's
Is it?
exactly
Okay.
what it's called.
Okay.
You're on fire today.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes.
No, I know.
I don't know. Anyway.
Some people call it a half zip, too.
Sure. Anything we want to talk about before we get into the... How do you like the Harry Styles album? Just a quick...
Good. I do like it. There are some songs that just aren't my vibe. I'm still kind of making my way through it, but I loved Aperture. The beginning of it kind of threw me off, but for the most part, I like the song. I love American Girls, and the others, I don't remember their names.
Okay.
But it's good. I like it. I'm glad. I feel like in a lot of I watched his interview with Brittany Broski, and I'm just thrilled for her. Yeah. Like it's just, being, not that we're anywhere close to the caliber she's at, but I know what that feeling is like.
100%.
And I'm really happy for her.
100%. It's a big year for girls with podcasts getting to do things with really monumental people who mean a lot to them.
Yeah, like Alex Cooper, Hannah Montana. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how monumental it is for her, but it is for us watching. So yeah, he made an album that he really wanted to make, and that's great, amazing. I don't need to like all the songs.
Sure, of course not.
My relationship with Harry has gotten a lot healthier throughout the years.
God.
Yeah, truly. It was dicey there for a while.
Thank God. Well, good. I'm glad that you enjoy. Okay, let's just jump in to the just all the stuff. Want to just do a quick hit on F1 Academy because Sephora has joined the grid, which I just think they are just doing such a good job. Like the brands that are coming in it's like every single one that comes in, I'm just like, this makes so much sense. Like this just fits, when they had Lego come in, or obviously Sephora, Charlotte Tilbury, Tommy Hilfiger, like it's just
smart.
It's just very smart and good brand awareness and makes a lot of sense. So like shout out to them for that. And I'll touch base. I'll go back to F1 Academy in a bit, but I just wanted to mention that out of the gate. Okay. Sprint quali. Let's just jump right in. I feel like we are going to get the same 5 or 6, well, maybe like 5 to 7 drivers out in Q1 for the foreseeable future. It feels like we're at this point where like, it's just, unless a driver has a crash or what happened to Max Verstappen in Australia where he had that crazy rear brake thing, it just feels like it's going to be the same drivers that get out.
Agreed.
So out in SQ1, Checo didn't even go out to compete. Valtteri, Lance, Alonso, Alex, and Carlos. Really, it's like the Cadillac drivers, the Aston Martin drivers are kind of, I don't want to say guaranteed to be out in Q1, but it seems that way. And then the Williams kind of struggles in qualifying as well.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a toss-up there, but not so great. I also was going to mention too, it's crazy if you just look at the timing of the gaps in between the drivers. Like it's like even from P1 to like P6, it's like a second or something, which I feel like is so, as you get further into a regulation cycle, the gaps get smaller and smaller and smaller. And so last year it felt like the gaps were so tight. It was like, oh my gosh, 1,000th of a second was going to be the difference between like P1 to P3. And now it's like, oh, George is on pole. And then, whoever, Oscar is in P6, a second behind. It's like, what? Anyway, out in SQ2, Franco, Arvid, Gabby, Liam, Esteban, and Nico. I just commented that Max was pissed like the entire qualifying session. Max is just not in his best.
Well, yeah, his machinery isn't doing what he wants it to.
Yeah, he's just not thrilled in a number of reasons. And he said, and this is jumping ahead, but he even said after the race, he was like, I would still be, now we won't know if this is true, obviously, but he said he would still have the same feelings and be vocal about his disdain for these regulations, even if he had the fastest car. Now, again,
he might not be as loud about it.
He might not be as loud
he might feel
about
the same,
it.
yeah.
But we'll actually never know if that's true. And I do actually believe him. Like, Max is pretty.
Yeah.
He's not he's not a bullshitter. Really. So we'll never know. But he's just not having a fantastic time.
No.
George obviously gets pole. I shouldn't say obviously because he didn't get pole every session, but he gets pole position. Kimi P2, Lando P3. Was kind of surprised to see Lando in P3 at that time, just because the McLarens haven't. They've been like the third fastest, but Ferrari's been the clear second best team. So that was impressive from Lando. Anything else from sprint quali?
It's not really relevant at all, but just at one point when they cut to why do I feel like I'm going to get her name wrong? Alexandra, Charles's wife.
Oh yeah, Alexandra.
Okay,
yeah,
sorry,
Alex,
I just had it. And just her tagline has changed to Charles Leclerc's wife, and that was like crazy.
Yeah,
happy for them. That it was just like, oh my god.
Yep,
there's a wife on the grid.
Yeah. She is, well, she's had, the different stages. She was just his partner. She was his fiance. I mean, this is, I guess, how it goes.
Yeah.
And
typically the stages, yes.
I do also just want to say, too, that we didn't have Martin Brundle on this
we did not
this weekend, which is okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
Now, I do want to just say, like, I think it was a couple Chinese Grand Prix ago, we did have Nico Rosberg as a fill-in, and listen, he can't do it all, but
yeah,
I do hope we get a Nico Rosberg.
I do too. I will say, and I put this in my notes, like throughout my race notes, but I will say, I know it's his job, but I think Anthony does a really good job of explaining what's going on. Like, he has a really clicked in knowledge of what's going on, and it's helpful because I don't.
And also, where's Karun?
Not sure.
He hasn't been around, has he? I haven't seen him.
I guess I haven't seen him either.
Yeah, so unless I've totally missed him. Now, to be fair, I haven't watched a lot of the well, I did, I guess, in Australia. I didn't really watch any, like, the pre-race coverage. I didn't watch the grid walk or anything like that because it was just kind of...
Well, he wasn't... Grid walk today was...
it was Ted, right?
And Bernie.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe
interesting.
Karun's not coming on until later or something.
Maybe. Anyway, okay, so that's sprint quali. All right, to the sprint. So we had Alex had a terrible, awful weekend. It just has to be said. He starts from the pit lane in this.
Oh yeah, was that in quali that he was SQ3 or something? He was just like terrible.
He didn't even get
actual. Oh, right, that was actual qualifying.
Yeah,
he's not having a good time.
Nope,
vibes are low.
No, a lot of people are not having a good time. It has to be said.
It's true.
Kimi has a bad start.
Yep.
And he drops down into 7th. And then, the classic story is Ferraris are great at the starts. They have fantastic starts. They can make these jumps on cars. Kimi's kind of struggling with starts. The Red Bulls are really struggling with starts.
Especially Max.
Oof, that is just
not
rough. Not what you want to see. Lewis gets in the lead at the start of the sprint.
Do you think, I've been curious about, because I'm still trying to like learn all this, the battery stuff, whatever. Like, it seems like them jumping the start like that is not help, like it's ends up being somewhat of a detriment to them. Do you think that that's something that they'll like? I mean, obviously it's great when you get the lead, but then Mercedes is always passing them.
I just think that's more of a Mercedes hasn't quite nailed the starting procedure yet, but they just have the dominant engine, so therefore they can make up the difference in the race. I think in some ways for Ferrari, you're kind of, if you can get a good start and Mercedes doesn't have a good start, you're kind of thinking, well, maybe Mercedes will have a incident or something.
Yeah.
By the way, this is a side note, but I saw someone tweet, like, what is your favorite F1 vocal stim? Do you know what a vocal stim is? It's like a saying. It's like a thing that people will repeat. Like we have many. Yeah. Like my latte. Like that's a vocal stim.
Yeah. Okay.
Would you say just an incident is your favorite F1?
When I type my notes, incident is what I don't.
I thought about that too. I was
anymore.
like, because the people were debating between just an incident and I am stupid.
Oh, I don't use I am stupid that much.
Right. Whenever the word incident comes up, I have to say incident.
Yeah, it sounds weird to say incident now.
Incapable of saying incident. Like, what? And I'm a little bit slightly concerned that I will be in a situation like a work scenario or something.
I was actually in a work scenario.
Did you say incident?
Yeah, and then I had to explain why.
I'm kind of worried that I'm going to get into a situation where I accidentally say incident and then they're going to be like, what? But then it's just so... There was this Formula One driver that said it many years ago, and now I've adopted it for myself.
This is what I did. It's an F1 thing. Sorry. Oh, okay. Because who has the time? And they don't care.
They don't care, yeah. Let me take you back to 2006. Yeah. It was a rainy day and wherever they were.
Yeah.
Max was pissed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought of that because of Charles Leclerc. And yeah, okay, cool. Arvid has a little spin. At some point. Mm-hmm. George and Lewis keep swapping positions. And this is, again, we go back to the debate of last week and whatever. It's like, I've kind of come, not that I was anti and I thought the Australia GP was fun. And I know people have their feelings about these new regulations and this back and forth and the artificial passing, but
I love it.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
It is exciting. And again, as we said, many things can be true at once. And this does feel like a situation where I can respect and understand that it feels a little fake. I agree that it probably is, but it doesn't mean that it's not fun to watch.
Totally.
And
that's, I think, from a spectator perspective, it's been fun.
Yes.
Like, I feel like in a lot, like last season, for example, and probably seasons before that, it was like the start was really exciting.
Yes.
Always. And like stressful. And then unless there was some sort of incident. Oh, wow. Incident. Excuse me. They're really...
No.
The expectation of excitement was always very low.
Exactly. And I think, too, people say, well, it doesn't really require skill nowadays to pass. And I agree in the concept of, like, it's all about your battery and managing your battery. I get that doesn't really require... I mean, it requires
strategy
intellectual skill. Yeah, strategy. But I will say... The wheel-to-wheel racing aspect does require skill. Like you have to be able to race properly. That's not you can't just throw anybody out into those cars and expect them to race wheel-to-wheel well.
Yeah.
So that does require skill and being able to know if there's space and gaps and yada yada yada. So I don't know, but we can get back to the racing. But yeah, I thought the sprint was way more exciting. And I think it really helps the sprint racing, especially
for sure, yeah.
Because there's no pit stops, because oftentimes it can feel like it's too short for there to be real strategy. So then it feels like everyone just stays in their space.
Yeah.
And at least now there's more action. So I like that. Valtteri retires.
Yeah.
Nico has the problem, which causes the safety car. I can't remember what exactly happened.
Arvid had to retire too.
Oh, Arvid had to retire. And yeah, so there's the safety car. Mm-hmm. And then, after the safety car, I was going to say too, like the pit stop, they had to double stack, but like it really fucked Lewis over.
Well, that's why I said, LOL, now they decide to pit.
Yeah. And it makes, of course, like safety car, you have to do it and everyone else is doing it. And
they didn't do it.
They didn't have to do it, but it would have cost them. But that's the price you pay for being the car that's behind. If you're the second car, you're going to be screwed in those types of stacked pit stops.
Yeah.
Kimi passes Charles Leclerc. I don't know if that was before the pit stop or after, but either way, he does. And then George wins. And Kimi, Kimi lost places in the pit stop because of his own double stack with George.
Yes.
Charles P2, Lewis P3. Liam gets a point. He had a good strategy. He was on hard tires for that sprint race. No Red Bull points.
Nope.
Tough day in the office. Where did the McLarens finish?
Lando was 4th and Oscar was 6th.
Okay. So, decent from them, but we are entering this season. To me feels like
Merc domination.
Is Merc and Ferrari maybe in some cases.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm really holding out hope that we're gonna, because Monaco is the classic track where it's not about the power, it's not about the engine. And so I'm really like crossing my fingers that that's the Charles Leclerc victory. But I don't know unless they make some really big improvements. Like, will they be? They could win a race or two. Like, that's not crazy considering like George could have some DNFs or whatever. And Kimi and George could take
I could
each
see
other
also
out.
like a Merc and a Ferrari taking each other out at the beginning with how they're starting.
Yes,
and
things could happen.
Yeah.
I'm not like writing it off. But yeah, it was good, and it was fun to see. It was fun to see Lewis back on. I mean, we'll get to his actual podium, but it was nice to see him back on a podium. And my dad was commenting about how when they interviewed Lewis and he says "ni hao" to the crowd, because he always does. He's always great about addressing the
like Taylor Swift.
home crowd. But then George, I think they already talked to George, and then George kind of, after Lewis says "ni hao," then George comes in and goes "shay shay," and it was a little bit Bridesmaids speech-esque, where it's like trying to kind of one up each other to just sort of win over the crowd. George is very Rose Byrne in like
no, but I will say in his slight defense here, he
Yeah.
did also say "shay shay" when he was interviewed for Sprint Pole.
Okay, yeah, that's true. And George
But now,
also,
if he wasn't talking again and just came on to say "shay shay," then like go away.
I think he probably clocked it like, Lewis said this to the crowd. I too have to be the one to acknowledge the crowd, and we're gonna do that. So anyway, we'll get back to that. But anything else from the sprint?
No.
All right, qualifying. I will also say too, and I agree with this. Qualifying is, the race has improved. Again, in terms of like an excitement standpoint, the racing has improved. The races themselves are more exciting. Qualifying is really not exciting.
Yeah, it's rough.
Unless there is some crazy crash or whatever. It's
like what happened with Max in Australia.
Yeah, it's just not.
It's not
the
that
gaps
exciting.
are too much, and like even Charles Leclerc said, he's like, in the past I've been able to like, you can, and this is where I think the car stuff comes into play. Like in the past, driver could really like push the limit of the car to like get the most out of it and maybe eke out a pole position or something. And he's like, you just can't really do that with these cars. And so it's just sort of like, you kind of have to, the best you can do is kind of what your engine can give you. Like you can't push the limits in the way that you would have in the past.
Yeah.
So you kind of end up with the same stuff. But anyway, okay. So out in Q1 again, this is the same, I guess.
Literally the same crew.
5. Yeah. Checo. 6. Yeah. Checo, Lance, Valtteri, Fernando.
That's the one downside about how, I mean, not that these people wouldn't have been out necessarily, but it's like there's 3 teams that are consistently out. It's not even like one of these teams has someone in.
Yes, that's a good point.
Too bad.
Yeah, so Checo, Lance, Valtteri, Fernando, Alex, and Carlos. And it's funny, like the same people get kind of out in Q1, and then roughly the same people get out in Q2. Sometimes you get, like, I feel like Gabby was in Q1 in Australia, or Q3, I mean, but like it's kind of the same chunk of drivers that are in contention for Q2 and blah, blah, blah. Okay, out in Q2, Gabby, Arvid, Liam, Esteban, Franco, and Nico.
Yeah, Pierre was cooking.
Pierre was cooking this weekend.
Yeah.
And Alpine,
Alpine was cooking this weekend.
And also, I was pissed, like, the Alpine was on the pit wall, and I would have preferred it to be Flavio on the pit wall. Like, for all my...
I mean, I would have preferred it to be Otmar, but...
Sure. I would have preferred it to be Cyril.
Facts. More important.
Yeah, let's just keep bringing it back. God damn, I miss Cyril.
I know, I do
We
too.
weren't even here for it, but it was fun to watch on TV.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so George was having problems and wasn't really sure if he was going to be able to get out again in Q3.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Couldn't set the time. It was like, what's going to happen? It was kind of one of those Max Verstappen situations in the past where it's like, oh, it would be kind of cool if George had to start from P10.
Yeah.
I'd be curious where he would get in the race and how that would shake out. But he managed to get out, but still it wasn't enough because Kimi Antonelli gets pole position.
Yes,
youngest pole sitter in history, beats Sebastian Vettel's record, which is crazy.
Which is also, I think I got this note right, but Kimi's birthday is the same day as Seb's first F1 race.
Ooh, let's fact check this.
I think I got that right.
I mean, that seems like because I'm pretty sure Kimi was born in August.
He was
August 25th, Virgo King, I believe. So that's cool. And Sebastian Vettel. And Sebastian Vettel would have won. I think his first victory. I think I know this. I think it was the Italian Grand Prix, which would have been. Oh,
am I wrong?
September 14th.
Then I don't understand where was it. Which.
I'm curious what you heard.
I heard that. So
Okay.
It's had something to do. Maybe it was that when did Seb get his first pole?
Okay, because I was gonna say too that doesn't even because Sebastian's first win was 2008 and Kimi was born in 2006, so that was even a couple. First pole. Maybe it was like when he got into Formula One.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's what. No, first pole was September 13th, 2008.
Wait, so you're saying September 14th is when Sebastian Vettel got into F1
got
for
his
the
first
first
win.
time? No. His Formula One debut.
Formula One debut. That's the point. Okay, let's see. Formula One debut. Excuse me while I'm
in real time
searching.
fact checks take some time.
But, I mean, this is important information. We don't want to be,
spewing.
Formula One debut. Well, Formula One debut wouldn't have happened in August, would it?
That's what I was thinking too. But there's been weirder things that have happened. It would have been after the summer break. There could have been a change.
June 17, 2007.
Well, I don't know. Crofty, I have a bone to pick.
Let's ask the audience.
Yeah.
Let's poll the audience. What is Hannah thinking? What is the fact that we're trying to?
Yeah, because I could also just go back and listen to Q3, but it was something along those lines. Anyway,
it's an important day regardless, and congrats to Kimi. And I will have to say, because like Max Verstappen is still the youngest winner in Formula One history, but he didn't get a pole until after he was older than Kimi, obviously. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that like these teams, Red Bull, Merc, take a chance on a young great driver, whereas you have other great drivers, but they don't get the chance in the top team until they're a little bit older. So it's sort of like. It's obviously a huge achievement, but like it all matters about what car are you in when you're the age that Kimi is.
Yeah.
Like, would Charles Leclerc have been a young pole sitter if he had gotten into the Ferrari at 19? Like, who knows? But still, amazing.
Very exciting.
Very happy for Kimi. Just what a gem.
This is really random, but I wrote this down because I was thinking about this after qualifying because Kimi's dad is. Have we ever seen George's parents?
Probably, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Why?
Well, it was just, there was a lot of parents this would Carmen was there and then
Lewis's mom.
Lewis's mom. And then Kimi's dad, Ollie's dad. I just kept seeing a lot of parents, and obviously George has had a lot of success early on, but even when he's won and stuff, I'm like, I don't know if I've ever seen his parents.
Yeah, we've seen a lot
I'm sure they've been at Silverstone and stuff, but
like I don't think we really ever. I'm sure she's been at races. I obviously assume she goes. I think we've seen her at Monaco, but like I don't know that Charlotte's mom travels a bunch.
That's true.
But obviously we see both of Lewis's parents. We see Kimi's dad and mom. I know Kimi
Max's
also
dad's
has
always
the younger
lurking.
sister too, so probably his mom has to be with his sister
Sure.
like at school or whatever. Lando's parents, obviously.
Yeah.
Oscar's parents. Who else do we see a lot of? I'm trying to think of like people further.
Carlos Dos.
Carlos, yes.
I mean, he's a working member of
and
the team.
Carlos's dad, I feel like is at some races. Ollie's dad, we've seen.
I'm very excited for the day Ollie can be in Ferrari.
I know. We'll get to Ollie. I know that's gonna be. I'm curious about that actually. We'll get to that. Okay. The race. Okay. So, so just for context purposes, I wake up this morning. I did not watch it live because it was like 2:00 in the morning, and it's just not going to happen for me. And I do want to say too, because I got some messages from people, and I feel like this happens every year with these races. People are like, am I a bad fan for not staying up or not waking up? Listen, you do whatever you want to do. If you want to wake up at 2:00 or 3:00 in the morning, like by all means, go for it. Like do what you want to do, but do not feel like you're a bad F1 fan if you want to sleep in or sleep on a Sunday and wake up and watch it in the morning. That's perfectly
the
fine.
beauty of the fact that you can rewatch them. Two things.
Yeah.
One, you can watch Sky Sports on Apple TV.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes.
I looked it up and some beautiful human on Apple answered the question. So shout out to them because I couldn't figure it out and then I did. The other thing is I have set a focus on my iPhone called Incident. so that on days that I know that I'm not going to be watching the race live, it hides all, because I'm a big notification girl, really to my detriment. I've got to lock that, shut that off. But it basically prevents me from getting any notifications from any F1 related activity. And I highly recommend, just because then it won't get spoiled for you. And It's hard. Like, you wake up and most of us are wired to just look at our phone. And I'm at this point know not to go to Instagram, obviously, but sometimes there's like an ESPN notification or something. And I'm like, no,
F1,
can't mess with that.
Yeah. I also just too, like, if you go on social media, that's your fault.
Yes.
You can't expect people to like hide a spoiler from you. That's your bad. It's the same thing with like Dancing with the Stars or something. Of
course, yeah.
And it's like
who
goes home, right? Sorry, don't go on your phone.
Yeah.
We're
not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna prevent talking about it because you're not watching.
Yeah, and people are like literally paid to talk about it in real time. So yeah.
But if you don't feel badly, even if it's like, I don't know, let's say you have let's say it's even the race, it's Miami, which starts at, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the afternoon if you're in the States, if you're an American. If you have like a party or some event you have to go to, like go do the thing and then come back and it's okay to live your life.
Yeah, we are in a very privileged place in our rewatching abilities.
Yes,
like
exactly.
It's not, we have the ability to watch at a later time.
Yes.
Do whatever feels good for you.
Yeah.
What makes you a great fan is that you're making time for it at all.
Exactly. Just don't feel like don't be held hostage by Formula One. Don't feel like you can't live your life during the weekend because unless you want to.
Mm-hmm. Anyone who says otherwise is insecure. So
yeah. But anyway, so the point. So I wake up this morning to watch it with my parents, and I'm kind of like flipping through to get to the race start. But I also know I'm like, who knows if someone's going to crash going on the way to the grid? Like, I got to be aware. And so I'm kind of skipping through the grid walk, and I see that Ted is gesturing to the open spot where I'm like, wait, what? Where is Lando? Mm-hmm. And then we see him in the car or in the garage. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I see Alex. He's in the garage. Oh, just kidding. Now Oscar is also in the garage. Oh, and so is Gabby. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
WTF.
What the hell is happening? First of all, I felt terrible for everybody.
Yeah, of course.
But I felt especially bad for Oscar Piastri. Like, what the hell? It was funny when he was like, I haven't gotten to watch 2 F1 races in a long time. I was like, oh my God. And then she was like, at least you got a little further than you did in Australia. It's like what's crazy is he hasn't even been able to start a race. Like, that is what's crazy. Not only that he didn't finish, like to DNF in 2 races in a row is like, that's pretty bad luck. To not even be on the starting grid 2 weeks in a row is so rough. Lando, obviously it was terrible for him too. I mean, McLaren just big old woof.
Big bummer. And it's also rough that like the 2 problems are totally different.
Yeah, both had power unit issues, but they were different issues. Alex had a hydraulic issue, which kept him from being able to start the race. I'm not sure what Gabby's issue was. Do you remember? Okay. Well, anyway, not good. And I saw people talking about this, like, oh, the reliability stuff is bad for F1, cars not being able to finish races. And I agree that, like, it's a bad look when you have 4 cars not even able to start the race. Mm-hmm. That's not good. I actually think reliability issues are actually kind of okay. Like, in the race, reliability issues kind of was what makes F1 a little interesting, and also, like, I don't know. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
And actually, in the past, if you're talking about like real F1, reliability problems were like abundant.
Yeah.
It's actually, as we've gotten further and further into like these newer eras, that cars have become so reliable. So I'm actually okay with like the risk of a car breaking down on lap 24. I do think though, they need to get to a place where they can actually start the race.
Yeah.
So tough for all those involved. Okay.
Yeah. Also, I just want to remind everyone that Daniel Ricciardo won this race in 2018.
Okay. That's so funny you bring that up because I literally, when that graphic came on, I said, Daniel's still on the graphic.
Yeah.
Like,
he's still here.
Yes. That is so funny you bring that up.
Well, and like, it was a bit of a jump scare for a second. I was like, what?
I know. God.
Anyway,
what were we doing in 2018, and why weren't we watching Formula One?
We were living in New York, I think, or just moving home from New York.
Yeah.
I know.
Be my truly my life's
It's okay
biggest
because we met
regret.
him.
That is so true. But like, I would have preferred to have watched the race
I
and
understand.
seen him win and also meet him.
I understand.
But beggars can't be choosers. Okay. Beginning of the race. So Lewis takes the lead. Very exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And please, interject if I'm skipping something. Then Kimi takes it back. George gets into second. I think Charles Leclerc was battling him for a bit, but I don't know. Anyway, Isaac has his little spin.
Yeah. And pretty quickly told to box because he was on softs, I think.
Yeah, something bad.
Yeah. Ollie reacted really well though, because Ollie almost crashed into him, but he like swerved at just the right time.
Yeah, he did. Lance is out, right? Because of something.
Later.
Oh, why do I have it like... It's like my next note. Isaac spins. Lance is out. What do I miss?
I don't know. Oh, it's not that far. Okay, sorry. I just had some more notes. I don't think I realized that Oscar never actually got out. I missed that, so I said Oscar out of race. Bottas and Perez incident noted, but no further investigation. And then Crofty had the audacity to say, Academy Awards are tonight in LA, but it's not Oscars day. ... And I was like, sir.
I mean, it's a good line.
It's a good line. And,
it is a good line.
Rude.
But it is
sad.
Tough. Yeah. And just those shots of both Oscar and Lando walking out of their, going to do their media. It's just like walk of shame.
I know.
And listen, not their fault. Of course not. Either of them.
I was also very confused by the temperature in Shanghai because
Lando
everyone kept saying it was balmy.
Yeah.
And then everyone looked freezing today, which is literally what happened in Kansas because yesterday was 70 and today it's 40 and we're expecting a blizzard. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, I thought that when they showed Lando's interview, I was like, why? He is like in a full on coat.
Yeah.
But
he may just run chilly.
Yeah, exactly. I relate to that. Mm-hmm. That would be me.
Yeah. I also had this moment when, after Lance's safety car, I was like, what do you mean it's only lap 13?
I know. It was very early.
Like, it just felt like there was so much that had gone on. Anyway.
I thought the same thing. Ferrari killed the restart. They got into second and third. And, this happens throughout a good chunk of the race, but the Ferrari battles
were fun,
just fantastic, and they seemed to agree too. Charles Leclerc
that was really cute when he came on the radio, and then even at the end, Lewis was like, I know I'm jumping way ahead, but he looked excited again. And for Lewis, new regulations or not, for Lewis to say that was one of the most fun races I've ever had, like that means something because he's obviously been here a while.
Yeah,
and I'm here for it.
My dad was kind of half. He was like, "What if Lewis and Charles crash?" And I was like, don't put that out there. But also I'm like, this is not your, and I said this, and I kind of mean this in a bad way, but like, I was like, this isn't like Lance Stroll and Logan Sargent are, and I should have even gone a step further. This isn't like Nikita Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi going wheel to wheel, like,
their experience,
the risk of not just experience and also skilled, like the risk of crashing between them, they're gonna give each other respect, they're gonna race hard and fair, and this is not, I don't think we need to be super concerned about
I also feel like
crashing.
It's the first time I've heard about like them anyone talk about wheel to wheel battling in such a positive, like how fun it was and how good it was, because usually, especially teammates, because usually I feel like it's a little bit negative. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like it's positive. They're like, oh, that was fun, or especially after the fact, like, oh, that was a fun race. Like, I really enjoyed battling so and so. It's not often that it happens actually during the race itself.
Yeah.
I also was just commenting too. I'm pretty sure George is the most popular or one of the most popular drivers in China.
Yeah,
and I'm curious.
I get that vibe.
Why? Is it like a Mercedes thing? Is it a George thing? Like I think
it's a George thing, and I don't know
why that is, or if there's some sponsorship that he has that's like made him really famous in China. If people know why he's super popular, but it feels like every time he was battling to pass Charles or Lewis, there was like a lot of cheers.
There was a lot of excitement for George.
I'm just interested why.
Mm-hmm.
Franco and Esteban have a little crash. Franco's coming out of the pits. Esteban's trying to make something happen. To Esteban's credit,
yep,
he does say,
that was
totally my fault. You know what? Growth. That's growth.
That is growth.
That is growth. So,
and I'm glad it didn't
shout out
take
to
either of
Esteban.
them like fully out of the race.
Yeah, though it seemed like it was.
I know.
Really, and you know what I also like to. I mean, when the driver who causes the problems is the one that really is affected by the issues, like, because it would have been so bad if Franco was the one who had to be out or whatever. So anyway, Fernando retires. I mean, again, not
Couldn't
a
feel his
shocker,
hands.
but like whatever. Esteban gets a penalty. Max retires from the race. How do you feel as a Max fan watching this season?
It's fine. I mean, I think this feels a little, I know it's not as extreme, but it does feel a little similar to how last season started out. I feel like once they get the car figured out a little bit better, he'll be fine. He's going to be chirpy about it. But I think what I'm curious about is, like, as a Max fan, it was fun, but I also got really bored by the Red Bull domination. And so what I'm more curious about is, like, how annoying the Mercedes domination is going to be, you know.
Sure.
Because the Red Bull one annoyed me, and Max was my favorite, or is my favorite driver. So I don't know.
Did you get annoyed by the McLaren? I know it wasn't full domination last season the same way.
Well,
but
and I will say, for me, it wasn't the Red Bull. It was that, like, it's boring when Max wins all the time.
Sure.
If it's a team, but who's winning goes back and forth, which I felt like we had with McLaren.
We did, yes.
And that was fun because, again, it was all still kind of new. I don't know. We'll see. It's too early, I think, to really have thoughts.
Yes.
I mean, you know, I think Max is going to make do with what he has, and hopefully what he has is able to improve. And also, like, I recognize that the circumstances are absolutely terrible, but I do also think that the 2 races being canceled will allow for some extra.
Yeah, teams will have time to, like, figure some stuff out. Yeah, I agree. I'm hoping. And again, we've been duped in the past with certain, you know, when it's like, oh, there might be a battle, and then there doesn't end up being a battle between drivers. And I cannot put any, like, truly, Kimi, I cannot put expectations on him. Like, it's just so not fair. He's in his second year as an F1 driver, like, but it would be nice if he made it a real battle. Even if it wasn't, like, super close, but at least he's challenging certain races. And maybe, again, I don't think Ferrari's going to win the championship necessarily, but if they can kind of sneak in there and get a couple wins too, like, that will be fun. Yeah,
and I do, you know, it might be too early to say, but this could be one of those fun years that we randomly get Pierre Gasly back on the podium.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, and then, you know, Flavio won't kill him.
That's
just a fringe benefit.
He was not his main target.
I understand.
Disdain, but, you know, anyone's vulnerable at any moment.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, we could get an Ollie
that'd be
podium.
Awesome.
We could get, I mean, there's a lot of things could still happen. Anything else before the end of the race?
Well, I will just say too, you know, I know we've been always very nervous about the second Red Bull seat, and it's only the second race, but I've been impressed that it seems like Isaac is able to be within the delta of Max that you would expect the second driver to do.
Yes. I mean, and the car's really bad. They're both struggling.
And I totally get all of that. And so that's, again, it's very
not
early.
An issue.
I'm also, again, it's a year where the V-Carb is looking better at the beginning of the season than the Red Bull, which is curious. And, you know, I always wonder too how much, like, I know they're completely separate teams, but then they're also not. Like, I'm wondering, are we sharing data with one another to understand, like, why is your car working and ours isn't? I'm always curious about that.
I don't know. It's
a good question, that one.
It's a good question, that one. Kimi Antonelli. Now, he did scare me a little bit with that lock up at the end. And he's having a heart attack, as he said. But he had it under control. And, you know, thank God, honestly, that George had to really battle the Ferraris, and that did give Kimi some distance. Mm-hmm. But Kimi gets his...
George was 6 seconds behind at the end.
I know.
It's wild.
Kimi gets his first victory in Formula One.
I cried.
And he's just so likable. It's like everyone cheered, you know, that saying. But it's like, I can't, if you don't like Kimi, I don't know what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
He's just so sweet.
such a doll. Bono calling him son, like my son or whatever he said. I was like, oh my God.
So cute.
Lewis being on the podium with
Iconic.
Kimi and Bono.
It was so good.
Ferrari, his first, I was like, oh my God, it is his first podium with Ferrari. Like, what the hell? That's crazy. But also, we were in the trenches last season.
And what a podium to get.
What a podium to get. Thrilled. I was thrilled. Of course, I'm a Charles Leclerc fan, but ultimately I also love Lewis too. And I thought it was very apropos for it to happen this way. Did you see the video of Toto being like, my 3 drivers?
Yeah, they're still ours.
It's like, exactly. Toto is probably super happy. Just want to comment on some others before we get to the like podium stuff, but Ollie, fantastic race. P5. And as you said, like, he is, and I saw this on Twitter, he's too good to be in a Haas. Like, he really is too talented to be in a Haas. But at this moment in time, Ferrari also, like, you're not dropping Lewis, you're not dropping Charles Leclerc. Like, it's like they're both doing well.
Yeah.
So at what point?
Well, how, like, realistically, how many more years do we think Lewis Hamilton's actually going to be in for? Because there's part of me,
maybe one more.
After this season?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was going to say, there's part of me that could see, I mean, I know it's brand new regulation, right? Whatever. But, like, depending on how he does this year, does he just decide we're done? Or does this year prove to him that, no, we can try for the championship. This will be my last year.
In a couple years.
But it seems to be it's just a lot of pressure to put on yourself to basically say, like, I won't retire until I have an 8th championship. I don't even know if that's something he's saying to himself or if that's a narrative that fans and
constructed
media has put on him. But I could also see, like, especially after the last couple of years he's had, like, if this year goes really well and he is ready to be done and end on a high note, he could say hasta luego.
Arrivederci. Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Yeah. I don't know. I'll just be curious to see, because this is Ollie's 2nd year. I mean, I guess him having 3 years in a Haas isn't like, that's fine. Like, he's getting good experience.
Well, it's great for Haas too.
It's good for Haas.
Get some points.
You know, you do wait around for the Ferrari. Like, that's a smart call on his part, and he'll still be young. And who knows? But he's proving himself to be very talented and very strong. And I'll be curious to see how that unfolds over the next couple years. Carlos gets points, so good job by Williams. Alpine P6 and P10.
So exciting.
So shout out to Alpine. Franco, I also just want to say to you, like, he had a bit of a rough go last season, but it feels like he's doing better, and he's not. What did Flavio say to him last year? Like, or it's like
something not nice.
Something not nice.
Like, it is your fault or something like that. Like,
he's being mean.
Yeah. Oh God, it was so nasty. I would have just started crying right there.
So shout out to them for that. And then also Liam P7.
Yeah.
Good job by Liam. Kimi crying on the radio or in the interview. I was just
that's when I really lost it.
Kimi,
I was like, that's really sweet.
He's just so.
Well, when he told the team, like, you helped make one of my dreams come true, I was just like,
I know. What a gem.
Nice. And like, duh. But it's just so nice.
What a gem. I can't even. He really is not like any other driver. I can't even.
Because he's Italian.
I can't. Yeah, I guess. I can't really compare him to anybody, though. Like, he's just so unique in his, like, vulnerability. Like, he's just he's just so pure.
Yeah.
And I can't think of another driver who I feel like is that, like, pure of heart.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He's very sweet.
Yeah. It's just really very sweet. Okay. This was also going to be my part of my fan info, but I'm just going to say it here. Did you see that they announced Kimi as Kimi Räikkönen?
No.
So so when he came out for the podium, I don't know if you saw his face. He was kind of like confused.
Yeah.
He was kind of making a face. And when we were watching, I was like, why is he looking so, he was kind of laughing and looking so confused. And then I saw Mercedes posted the video. They announced him as Kimi Räikkönen.
That's crazy. Kimi Räikkönen hasn't been in the sport for a long
while,
time.
But also, like, that's so funny. Like,
that's funny.
So funny.
Yeah.
And because Kimi Räikkönen at home being like, what?
Yeah.
And also Kimi Räikkönen is not even Italian. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that was funny.
That is funny.
And then George stepping off the podium so that he could let Bono have a picture with just Kimi and Lewis, I'm like, good job, George. George is obviously, he's
very dialed in.
He's very dialed in.
Yeah,
he's
and
very
he did spend several years being, watching the master.
Yes.
I mean, Lewis is he's like Taylor Swift and Harry Styles with audiences. Like, they are very talented. They know what to do. They know what to say. They know how to greet, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. And even in the post-race interview thing, Lewis says "Shay Shay" to the crowd. Then he also throws in some Italian and he's just pulling out left. He's just.
It did seem like he was panicking. He was about to say the wrong thing. Did you catch that?
A little
when
bit.
He was saying "Grazie tutti," I was like, I think he was worried he was going to conjugate wrong or something. But he nailed it.
So good job, Lewis. And that was a fun trio to have. And I'm sure I would be curious if Lewis or if Kimi, I feel like probably in his head he's thinking like, first one, it would be very cool to have someone like Lewis Hamilton on the podium with me. Like that's
it's really special for Bono. I feel like too to like
so cool.
Yeah, like
so cool.
He helped create Lewis. He helping create Kimi in real time.
It's his two kids.
Yeah,
one is very grown and one is very young. Mm-hmm. So all in all, just very happy with how that shook out.
I didn't realize though it was Bono who said my son. I didn't know if his dad came on the radio.
His dad did too, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or I thought he did, but it was Bono who said that. And then Sweet. Toto, whenever he said he was like saying all the like, they said you were.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I get what you're doing. Yeah, it's like telling them, reminding him of all the negativity all the that haters. He overcame. Yeah. But he's 18 and very sensitive. So maybe just like they said you couldn't do it, but you proved him wrong. Yeah. I don't think we need a verbatim recall of all of the shit that was spewed in his face.
It's like he's reading from a sheet. Like they said you were too small.
He probably was.
Your hair is too curly.
He probably had an intern run and go pull mean tweets.
They should do that for F1, like Jimmy Kimmel. They read mean tweets. That'd be kind of funny. Actually.
It would be funny. I bet there's some nasty ones.
Obviously you gotta censor, but
or not.
Okay. Anything else from the race?
No.
Okay. So shout out to F1 Academy as well. Emma Felbermeyer, who's an Audi driver, she won the main F1 race or the main F1 Academy race, and then Nita Gademan won the reverse grid race. So congrats to them. They'll be, I think, in Miami. I think say. So that's exciting. As you mentioned, Bahrain and Saudi are canceled. So we have the Japanese Grand Prix in 2 weeks time, and then all of April will be no F1, and then Miami will be the next race, which is kind of crazy. So that's kind of the schedule for the next couple of months. Should we get to fan and foe?
Sure.
Do you want to start or me?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay, you go.
Well, my fan really was just Kimi. I love the new racing, personally. It's a hot take. It's still early. I may change my tune. I like changing my tune. And then the Toto video of him being like, for a second, I thought we all had 3 drivers. I just thought it was
good to see.
Sweet little moment. And, him congratulating Lewis at the end of the race was nice.
It was nice. My fan, so I'm sure many people have seen this video, but Jess Medland, who's Chris Medland's wife also.
So good.
I just want to, because I feel like some people might not know that, but, two icons in the sport of Formula One.
Yeah. She
is a Sky Sports producer, and she posted a video of herself in the control room during the Australian GP and just kind of showing like what goes on.
It's crazy.
Behind the scenes during an F1 race, and this is pre-race stuff, and it was so impressive.
Yeah.
The amount of, talking to this person, okay, going to this camera, going here, talking here.
Well, and all that, every person has a different button. So like Simon's in her ear, which I can only imagine genuinely. Like, stay there, Simon, wait for Tom.
Yes.
Bernie, and it was amazing.
Crofty, and then, oh my gosh, Oscar's crash, cut to this, Oscar's crash, just the chaos that goes on and how well she handled it and how calm she stayed and just so professional. It was so impressive. And I think those are like the roles that people just don't see behind the scenes. Like, they don't understand just all the stuff that goes in to making a great TV show and a production, and just, I don't know. That was just like a very cool thing to see.
Yeah.
And shout out to her for
that was
killing
awesome.
the game.
I know. I hope she, I know when a video like that does well, a lot of times they like keep doing it, and I don't want it to be like so redundant. It's not, but I would love to see another.
I know, I'd be very curious.
Or another segment of the race, or like what it's like to do the podium ceremony at the end, or that kind of thing.
Yeah,
or
very
honestly,
interesting.
I would love to watch BTS of Martin's Grid Walk. because I know they're telling him where to go. Like, I can't even imagine how chaotic that part is.
Yep. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay, your foe.
Williams is just bumming me out, and I'm hopeful. I know it's a rough go, and honestly for Cadillac too, like it's just a bummer. I know they're a brand new team. I know that everyone's still learning things. I hope that they have patience in their veteran drivers. But
I do wonder what it's like I'm curious how they currently, I mean, they obviously had to know this was a possibility and likely going to happen coming into the grid first time the team's on the grid. They had to assume it probably was going to be a little bit rough at the beginning, but I am curious like what the experience has been like for them. Hopefully it gets better.
Yeah.
My foe, I don't know if you guys saw the edit that I shared on Instagram of Daniel Ricciardo to the one that got away.
Yes.
It was absolutely terrible, and it was forced upon me against my will. And so I then had
you were
to
just
force
scrolling
it.
or someone sent it to you?
No, because I was scrolling.
Oh, okay.
and then I had to share with everybody else because it was so painful. And I just need people to stop those edits. Okay,
they're not going to.
Positive ones only. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much.
But he is the one that got away.
I know, and that's why it's terrible.
Yeah, well, like, never forget.
I guess I'd rather remember it fondly rather than like this. What could have been situation. So that's just tough. And my other foe was it was a fan foe, but it was the Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Antonelli thing, which just cracked me up. Okay, let me get to some of your guys' questions and we can see.
Really quick, do we think the F1 movie is going to win any Academy Awards this evening?
What a joke.
They might
win like something for special effects or something
or
like
sound
that. Or sound. Yeah, that's a good point.
Is Brad on his own up for anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
no, I know, but no.
That doesn't shock me. I
am curious, like, is Lewis going to fly back to LA? Do you think
tonight?
Well, I mean, the race was,
right.
So he could, and it's LA. Like, it's not a crazy distance from China. Like, he could make it.
He could,
but I don't know if he will want to. But it's not every day that the movie that you're a producer on is up for Best Picture.
Yeah, I could see him going.
So I'll have to wait and see. Obviously, you all will know it. When this comes out. We don't know yet.
As long as he doesn't wear those.
The big question,
carnival pants.
The big question is, because it really feels like, and obviously, like, what the hell do I know or anyone know? But it feels like the best actor Oscar is coming down to Michael B. Jordan or Timothée Chalamet.
I hope it goes
which
to Michael B.
Really feels, and Timmy is on his public opinion, like is just going into the gutter.
Yeah, I'm curious. We don't need to talk about it right now, but I didn't really understand that was happening.
Yeah, I just think it's like a snowball effect of like people didn't love his whole Marty Supreme promo. Like he was a little bit extra, a little bit like just kind of attention-y. It was kind of on purpose, but it kind of turned some people off. And then he's dating Kylie Jenner, which people don't really love, but it is true, like who you associate with does affect how people view you. And then the nail in the coffin, so to speak, or just kind of the main thing now is just his comments about the whole like ballet opera, and
I haven't heard that.
Just that no one cares about those things anymore, and he said that, and he was kind of joking, and he's also right to an extent because opera and ballet is like very much struggling, but it was sort of like a little like entitled. It's just we don't have to get into it now.
He was saying like no one cares about it anymore as like that's a negative, or he was just like
as a negative, kind of like no one cares about like
why are we talking about that? Because no one cares.
Yeah,
not we need to help the arts.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Understood.
Exactly.
That's too bad.
So anyway, I too am hoping for MBJ. Like I think that would be very exciting.
Would that be his
Michael.
first Oscar?
Yeah. Both of them, either of them, Timmy and Michael.
I think both of their names on my bag that you gave me.
Oh my God, that's funny.
I think they are.
Crazy. Yeah. One will prevail.
Yeah,
as the champ. Well, and also it could be somebody else too, but anyway,
unlikely.
We'll have to wait and see. Okay, that's your little pop culture corner, and then we'll get to the questions.
We could start having a pop culture corner called Two Sex Ted.
That's funny. That's good. Is this Ferrari battle going to end in disaster and cause DNFs?
I think it could, but I feel like it's unlikely. Maybe one incident. Oh my God. Now I'm like doing it correctly. What the hell? Like with Oscar and Lando last season. Oscar and Lando last season. I could see, look, anytime you're racing that aggressively and wheel to wheel like that, there is risk. I think they're skilled enough that it's not going to be like all the time carnage, but I do think that especially with these new cars, depending on the scenario, there could be an incident that we don't care or two.
Yeah, I mean, they were saying this on the broadcast. They were like, should they have told them to, maintain their positions? And it's like, no, it's race 2. You got to let them race. You got to let them have it out. That's how it is. That's how it's supposed to go. And again, they're very skilled drivers. They're going to race hard and fair. And
they had a blast.
They had a great time. And there might be a crash or two. And if there is, then you can kind of like change the situation. But for now, you got to let them. You got to
let the chips fall where they may.
Exactly. As the great Amanda Bynes once said, "What a fantastic movie that is!
So good."
Like. She's the man, for those who don't get the reference. Yeah. And I do want to say, too, I did see a clip of someone talking about how just it is a complete and total sham that Amanda Bynes is playing soccer with her hair down in that movie.
Oh, God, I know.
And I know it's because of a stunt double and they need to cover her face so they can cut between a real soccer player and Amanda Bynes. I understand it.
That's
but
a fine point. I never even thought about that.
It's such disrespect to all female athletes out there because nobody is playing... really any sport.
She didn't even have pre-wrap in her hair.
Least of all soccer with her hair in her face.
Yeah.
What a joke.
Yeah.
But anyway.
By the way, she's a former soccer player, so she knows from experience.
Right.
I just know because of reality.
And I mean, if you saw your high school team playing soccer, you would see there's no one's out there with their hair down. I mean, maybe if they have really short hair or something, but like she had hair down to like her chest. There's no way. Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyway.
Minor flaw in the movie.
Minor flaw. What happened to Albon? They said it was like a hydraulic something. I don't know. Okay. I love this podium as a Lewis fan cried for Kimi too. You as well. And it was a great podium. I do hope we get some diverse podiums. If we have to have a Merc dominance, I still want to see some new faces, new people, new whatever. Like, let's throw a McLaren on there every once in a while. Let's throw some crazy, as you said, Pierre Gasly, Ollie.
I love a Gabby.
A Gabby and Isaac. God forbid Max Verstappen's on a podium. Like that. We have not had Max on. Like, that's crazy. Max has not been on a podium.
I know.
Like, what? Mm-hmm. So craziness. Okay. Do you think the RB will be better after the break in April?
Probably. I mean,
we can only hope.
Yeah. I mean, I do think the fact that they have now extra time, like bonus time, not on track that they haven't had in previous years. But, I always get nervous too, because we joke a lot that like sometimes they come back with upgrades that are really downgrades that like make everything worse. So I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah. See where let the chips fall where they may. I'm hopeful as well. And as we know, Max is always going to get the most out of the car as he possibly can. So, as long he might just need a couple small things that should like go their way. And then all of a sudden it's a competitive car. And the truth is like the race for third, I suppose, in the constructors like of the teams is really up for grabs. Like, yes, Merc and Ferrari seem to be the obvious one too, but like it's kind of anyone's game for that third, not anyone's game, but it's up for grabs. Yeah. So they could do it. And Isaac is very, we're not having the, oh God, it's only a one man team thing. Like I think they'll both contribute to the overall success of that team. So
it just occurred to me that Japan could be our first wet race with new regs, and that made me a little nervous.
It could be our first wet race, which is Japan's always, it's who knows what you're gonna get in Japan, but also
maybe someone will get appendicitis so that Yuki could drive.
Exactly. I was just gonna say like, first Japan GP in a long time without Yuki on the grid.
Does anyone know if Arvid and Liam have their appendix?
That's a great point.
I wish no illness upon anyone, but
someone did say, because I don't know if you saw this, but Carmen, George's girlfriend, had her appendix removed right before the Australian GP, and you know how obviously Carlos lost his appendix and then won the Australian GP, and Carmen herself is also Spanish. And so Carlos Sainz said he was like, a Spanish person has to sacrifice their appendix, like someone close, in order for that person to win the Australian GP, because George won.
Oh, wow.
So who wants to be next?
Yeah, well,
Fernando,
plenty of time.
Does he have his appendix? Maybe he could win next year if he really wants, if he really goes for it.
I'm focused on Japan.
Yeah,
not
true.
the Australian
That's
race
true.
1 year from now.
That's true. That's true. Maybe not even, maybe just a little bout of like
Food poisoning,
or just a little something that just keeps him out for a couple days.
Yeah, wasn't it in was it in Japan that Valtteri was talking about having a hot pot that like caused him some real trouble during a race?
He's gonna start dropping some like little something in someone's food and just enjoy this here.
I'm sure he'll be
drink.
there, obviously. Yeah, okay.
He was there this weekend.
Yeah,
of course,
I thought so.
They didn't show him any time. Just anyway, whatever. And yeah, so I'm excited for that. And we won't have an episode next week because there's no race, but we'll be back obviously for the Japan GP, and we'll figure out some episodes to do in April. Maybe we can do some, I don't know, beige flags maybe again, or like why you should root for every F1 driver. We can do something like that. If you have any opinions on that, let us know.
Drop them in the comments.
But until then, we'll see you next race. Enchanté.